Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs. Now let's join today's service.
How about there we go. Let's do that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Marietta Carter. I'm a practitioner, long-term member, board member, and most importantly, I'm your host today for the service. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to Sunday service at Centers for Spiritual Living Nashville. I would also like to welcome those who are watching online, and I will invite you to join us here in Nashville, Tennessee. We're excited today because our speaker has had a long absence from us, but he is back, Vic Sorrell. Yay, yay, yay. And we're all looking forward to your talk, Vic. So if you're wondering who we are an inclusive, open-minded spiritual community for anyone seeking a greater understanding of God. Even though we're called New Thought, our teaching brings ancient wisdom, philosophy, religion, and science together with spiritual tools to use to transform your life. We believe that all life is sacred and that every one of us is an expression of God. So through practices such as affirmative prayer, meditation, and understanding that by changing our thoughts, we can actually change our lives. We are inspired to live our own dreams, and we are here to help make the world a better place for everyone. So, welcome to our center, and let's begin our service. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, turn within. And know with me that there is a power, a wisdom, a love that surrounds us right now. And that same power that hung the stars in the heavens and created all things is alive. And it's still creating and lives in each one of us right now. And this infinite power, it never rests on its laurels. It never stops creating for a moment, and it expects us to do the same. It expects us to be fully alive and present. So let's feel that power and feel that love. And let's feel that inner connection with that power this morning. And as we feel that connection with that power, let's feel that connection to our community here in Nashville for the tragic loss of life at the Covenant School. Oh, and let's feel that love of our greater community that has been impacted by all the storms and tornadoes this week. Let us open up our hearts and our minds and feel that power moving in and around and through each one of us. I'm so grateful for all who are here today. Thank you for those who are in service and for those who are contributing this service by being present and open and receptive to good things happening. I'm so grateful for and bless our speaker, Vic Sorrell. I know that his message assists us in knowing the truth so we can soar and feel lifted and inspired in spirit. And for this, I give great thanks. And together we say, and so it is. And now, our own Mr. Wonderful.
I work on it, okay.
Come on, embrace that, yeah. Larry Faragalli.
Thank you, Etta Carter. And good morning, everybody. Today we are blessed, again, to have such talent sing for us this morning. You were just listening to one of his songs, one of my favorite songs, as you came in today. So we have a special service for you. Joining him today is Yvonne Smith. So put your hands together for the fabulous Sean Galloway.
Thank you very much. So how many of you know what this means? What is it?
I love you.
I love you too. So I had the great privilege of working with a man named Darren Weissman who constructed a whole healing motive or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever, I can't find it. Anyway, using this with infinite love and gratitude. So it was based on Emoto's work, where our bodies are mostly water, and if you're sending love to water, you're changing the molecular structure of your water, right? So I'm going to invite you today, as we're singing this song, to give yourself a little infinite love and gratitude to your water. And then if you really feel brave, you can sort of reach over to your neighbor over there and give them a little bit, and let's have some fun with this, all right?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. All right, Ray.
Ray, I have no guitar. Well, there's the coyote energy, right?
I do my magic. It's plugged in.
Says the battery's good, so
It's dead on this side.
yeah, it's dead over here too. It's on your end. Well, you can start giving yourself a little infinite love and gratitude right now. How about that? We'll just do it without the music, you know?
Maybe you gave everybody the voodoo. Let's try again. I don't think it's that.
That would work.
I'm so happy and grateful now that this is working properly.
I mean, this was working perfect when we went through rehearsal this morning. So I don't know what's going on.
Let's try a different DI.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I could try and change the battery, but it says the battery's fine. Yeah, we could do that. Just
Oh, okay, we could do that. That's an idea.
it's all right. We'll make it work, right?
Yeah, you make it get up as close as you can.
First, it's get it up this way. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Well,
Well, it's
okay.
almost 11:11, so that's cool.
You can't start the TV show over, can you? Let's just erase what we have and start over.
Yeah, the internet folks are like, yeah.
All
hang
right,
in
well,
there
we're
with us.
on. We're on, so
Is that coming through at all?
can you hear it, Ray? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'm grateful for this gift to mend my deeper mind, build a new relief that allows my light to shine. And I'm grateful I can change and become a butterfly, embrace my open wings and surrender to the sky. Infinite love and gratitude in this moment is my attitude, giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Your present peace is what I choose. Infinite love and gratitude. I'm grateful for my growth, the pleasure and the pain, all I felt inside, through the sunshine and the rain. I'm grateful I can live in balance as I thrive and awaken the one true spirit as he's soaring in my eyes. Infinite love and gratitude in this moment is my attitude, giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Your present peace is what I choose. Infinite love and gratitude. Now with the power of my self-love, I'm creating a world of art, reconnecting me to all I see from the lifeline of my heart. All right, give yourself a little love. Come on. There you go. All right, your neighbors now. Infinite love and gratitude in this moment is my attitude, giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Your present peace is what I choose. Infinite love and gratitude. Now may all our days be filled with infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude, y'all. Woo! Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right.
And another good morning to you all. Infinite love and gratitude. Boy, I don't know, does it need to get any better than that? Wow. This morning my name is Marla Sanderson, by the way, and I am a practitioner here. I'm also a minister in this Center for Spiritual Living organization. And one of my favorite books by Ernest Holmes is this thing called You. So that's what I'm reading from today. When you use the word God, you mean the power that creates everything, that gives life to everything. When you say all things are possible, you mean that the power which created the planets is now operating in your affairs, in and through everything you do. Your faith in it clears your mind of fear and uncertainty and provides a channel through which the power may work for you. There is nothing this power cannot do for you if you learn how to use it. It is impossible for it to fail. All failure is of man. None comes from God. I want to say that again. There is nothing this power cannot do for you if you learn how to use it. It is impossible for it to fail. All failure is of man. None comes from God. It is a known fact that thoughts, often repeated, form patterns in mind which automatically reproduce themselves. This is one of the basic principles of new knowledge of the mind. This illustration is often used by psychologists to explain continuously repeated neurotic conditions. Why not use this creative law constructively, dislodging old thought patterns that have hypnotized humanity into the belief that fear, unhappiness, poverty, and sickness must prevail? Why not disrobe this mental darkness with glorious conceptions of the new light? Say, my mind is open to new ideas. My spirit is ever active in me. The divine mind is inexhaustible. This one's for me right now. There is no weary or monotonous action in spirit. It is forever new and vigilant. It's forever new and vibrant and vigilant, fresh with ideas. I know that I am continuously receiving a growth of... Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
You got the coyote too.
I know that I am continuously receiving a growth of undesirable... Gosh, I'll never get to do this again. I turned 2 pages instead of 1, and it really didn't make any sense. Okay.
That's the way it's going today.
Let's do this again. I know that I am continuously receiving new impressions from life, new, better, and fuller ways of being. I let the newness, freshness, and originality of spirit permeate my entire consciousness. And with that, I am going to speak a spiritual mind treatment right now, and I'm going to do it in the first person. I'm going to say I so that you can just absorb that I as we go along. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And just take a deep, relaxing breath. And know that when we connect, when we think of, when we allow our minds to dwell on that power that we call God, creator of everything, creator of this entire universe, every planet, every star, every plant, every frog, every part of each of us is an expression of that one source, the divine source. It lacks nothing. It is infinitely creative, expressive, and its nature is love, pure, pure, pure love, unconditional love. And so I accept that today as my nature right now, and I express that in everything that I do. I feel it as I go about my day, and it feels so good to feel that presence of love. As I meet people, see people on the street, that love just radiates from me. People smile back. It's contagious. And I am so, so grateful for this power that allows us to feel this experience of this love, this experience of the oneness. We're all expressions of the divine. And so we say to ourselves that all is well, all is good, and we let go of any other ideas. So with all of this, I release these words now to the creative law that always says, yes, God never fails, and neither do I. It is done, and we can say together, and so it is.
So I'd like to dedicate this song to all those that were harmed and all of us that our city that is grieving from the shootings at the Covenant School. So it impacted me, and I thought this would be a very good song to sing for our community. This is called Received. Oh, heart, I am lost, longing for what's real. Love without cost that allows me to feel and gives me strength within to heal. Where I am received. My faith's been torn by cries in the night. My dreams unborn, dying in flight. Oh, please adorn me with your light, where I am received in love, received in grace, received in warmth, in your sweet embrace. I meant more than enough, and begin to ascend. I'm lifted up in great joy, free as a dove, where I am received in peace, where I am received.
Sean Calloway, everybody. right, now it's time to put your hands together and welcome an old friend, somebody we haven't seen in a while, and we're glad to have back, Mr. Vic Sorrell.
All right. Oh. Good morning. How about my mic? Is it on? You know, I was just thinking as I was sitting out there that, first of all, so much love and appreciation for the music, always. Absolutely. The beautiful, beautiful music, and no matter whether the guitar cables happen the way they're supposed to happen and the electronics go well, and no matter if 2 pages get turned at a time, we're okay. And all is well. And I'd just like to ask us to breathe into that together before we start, that we're okay and all is well. Yeah, and so it is. So good morning, I am Vic Sorrell, and just as always, I'm a man of power, and I'm a man of purpose, and I learned a long time ago in my life that my purpose is very simple, and that is to share everything I've learned that has made my own life better. I remember chuckling to myself several years ago when I heard one of my heroes, Oprah Winfrey, talking about when she was little. And the ladies in the church said, "Hattie Mae, that girl sure can talk." Well, I'll tell you that anybody who knows me, and especially anybody who's ever dated me, knows that man sure can talk. So it's good to be anywhere, and it's especially good to be here with you all today, because it's a gift to get to be here with you all to talk. In times before these, the alchemist was someone who possessed the ability to transform lead into gold, simple metals into gold. Obviously, given the value of gold, alchemists were highly valued, very sought after for their services. On the level of spirit, many of us recognize that we are also each invited to be alchemists in our own lives every day. Because we have free will of choice, and it's absolutely possible to alchemize our life experiences in order to gain the wealth of wisdom. The wealth of wisdom. Now, this week in our communities, we have experienced tremendous loss together. Of course, I'm speaking about the Covenant School situation, and of course also the 2 military helicopters that crashed this week and resulted in the loss of several lives. So we come together this morning to support one another in an effort to face the effects of those losses, and we all experience those effects in some way because we are all connected. Like waves in the ocean, we cannot truly be separate, although we're each unique. And so we remember the grief and the suffering of those most directly impacted. We hold them in light for comfort and healing at this time of what must be overwhelming pain. I feel confident that many of you, like I, when you first heard the news of the shooting this past Monday, maybe your heart sank. And as the details unfolded and more information became available, I noticed in myself the rising of a sense of despair. Despair is the loss of hope. Now, I'm not saying that I gave in to that despair, but I did notice that feeling rising in me when you consider that what happened at Covenant School this week is the most recent of so many of these types of occurrences. And as any newscaster that we might have been watching, unfortunately had to share, it probably won't be the last. A Course in Miracles would have us understand, however, that despair and the thinking of this material world is actually 180 degrees from the reality with a capital R, the reality of the infinite. The Course would also have us remember that a spiritual path is not actually a learning. Hear me when I say that. A spiritual path is not actually a learning, but instead an unlearning. An unlearning of a thought system of this world that is based in fear. And when we surrender the thought system of this world that is based in fear, then and only then the space is made to embrace a thought system based in love. The place where miracles are made welcome. And A Course in Miracles will remind us that a miracle is simply that, a shift in perception from love to fear. A shift in perception from fear to love. So, in our times of despair, we gather here. And by here, I not only mean in physical presence. Otherwise, I mean beneath the truth that we choose to believe. And instead of simply surrendering to despair, we remember together that we have the option to surrender despair to the light of love that we know. A Course in Miracles teaches us that the only real truth in the universe is love, and that love is therefore our true nature. However, in order to experience the truth of who we are, we must first surrender anything we hold that is not love. And why must we surrender anything that is not love to the light? Because nothing can be taken from us that we are not willing to surrender by our own free will. We must surrender to the light that which comes up in us that we identify as lovelessness, in order such that it can be transformed through a loving perception of the circumstances. We must be available for that loving perception through our willingness. So just as the alchemists we spoke about a few minutes ago possessed the ability to transform lead into gold, there's a process that we can allow in our own lives to transform any undesired circumstance into light. Metaphysically, light means understanding. Today, we approach that process in 3 steps: remembering, recovery, and reconciliation. First of all, we must remember what so many of before me today have shared so beautifully, the law. We must remember the law, that we live in a universe. How about if I just receive the loving perception to push that right back out of my way? First of all, we must remember that we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, and that law, according to Ernest Holmes, is good only. Good only, not good and evil. Good only. That is the law. His words: the gardener goes forth in faith to sow his seeds. He has learned that as he sows, so shall he reap. That the law works for all alike. We must accustom ourselves to the concept of the impersonalness of this law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. If we can conceive only a little good, that is as much as we can experience. We must instill into our minds the fundamental proposition that good is without bounds. Hear me again, good is without bounds. Only good and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life. Psalms 23. We must get this concept. Rather than continuing to think there is a power of evil as opposed to the power of good, we experience good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. It's a perception of duality, not a reality of duality. And so therefore we have choice in how we perceive. Now, alchemy, too, is a process governed by laws. And the first law of alchemy is in order for something to be created, something must be surrendered. In order for the butterfly to emerge, the caterpillar must surrender. We knew we would align. I heard that song lyric, Sean. We knew that would happen. In order for the experience of sobriety to be made real, the substance must be released. From A Course in Miracles perspective, in order to experience a miracle, we must surrender the grievance. Why? Because on the level of thought, we can't think love and fear simultaneously. The mind cannot serve two masters. We must choose. And once we begin thinking with love, our fear is simply cast out, very much the same way that darkness is cast out of a room when we turn on a lamp. Because fear is not a state of itself, but an absence of love. The Buddha would suggest that in order to experience true power, first the illusion must fall. Think back to what you may have noticed when you first heard the news of the Covenant school shooting this past week. Whether we choose consciously or unconsciously, A Course in Miracles says that in life, really there are only two fundamental choices: love or fear. And it also says that fear of itself does not even exist. This means that just as Ernest Holmes shares, only good, not evil, exists. Evil being the state of the absence of good. A Course in Miracles reminds us, too, that only love is real, and that similarly to the teaching of the Buddha, fear is simply an illusion that must fall in order to experience the power that is the truth of who we are. So in order for despair to be transformed, we must first remember the law and align our thinking with it. Next, we must reclaim our power. And how do many of us lose our power all the time? To people and circumstances that we misperceive as having power over us. So we must stay keenly aware of the people and the circumstances in life that we lose power to as the result of believing the illusion that they might have power over us. Despair would be an example, therefore, of an effect we experience when we buy into an illusion. Think about the way that despair feels. Empty. It's an illusion. But it also feels heavy. And for those of you who appreciate the teachings of Carolyn Mace like I do, Carolyn is a medical intuitive who shares that when we buy into illusions, when we agree with illusions, our life force energy is literally drained from our bodies as if we were bleeding energy. When we believe illusions and agree with illusions, a literal energetic hemorrhage happens. Carolyn Mace also teaches that as we lose the light energy that is our life force, our physical bodies, ironically, actually become denser, more like lead. This is why experiences that give us power tend to make us feel lighter. And when we give our power away, we tend to feel heavier. A Course in Miracles teaches us that in truth, we can't be separate. We are not separate. We are all one. There is no place that you stop and I start. Our eyes, by the mechanism of the way that they read the energy, they see boundaries. They see perimeter. But in actuality, that is illusion. We are all one energy field. Isn't that a beautiful thought? We're all one energy field. There's no place that you stop and I start. However, because we have free will and choice, we can think thoughts of separation, thereby experiencing the effects of feeling separate. Another illusion. So just for a moment, consider the way that we might have experienced the news of the Covenant School shooting. If you were not met with illusions of fear, if you were not met with illusions of feeling despair and separate from all that is and all the power that you could possibly be, then pause and consider who you might be here to share that message of hope with. Because, my friends, that's the whole point. Toni Morrison tells us that when you become empowered, the most important thing you can do is empower someone else. The most important thing you can do is empower someone else. And just as we're able to surrender the way we have been perceiving people or circumstances we lose power to, we literally become lighter in the sense that there's more room made in our consciousness for love in the form of light. We all know those people that walk into a space and light up a room. We all have the capacity to be that. But first, the illusion must fall. Think about little children when they walk in a space. Everyone lights up. Everyone lights up. Because that child holds no sense of illusion about who they are. There's no preoccupation with them. They simply are the love that they are. They let it show. They let it shine. And what do? We respond to that innocence. That innocence that's available to all of us. That innocence that is the magic that is here for us to work with, to create with. And yet, because of a lot of the illusions that we agree with, we think thoughts of separation and therefore separate ourselves from that experience of magic that is our innocence. It's optional. So in order to allow for spiritual alchemy to transfer and transform our despair into light, into hope, we must remember the law and we must reclaim our power. There's one more step that's really important. We must reconcile our judgment through forgiveness. The easy one, right? Everyone's favorite. We must reconcile our judgment through forgiveness. And fortunately, we have Edwin Gaines. Let's send Edwin some love. If you know Edwin's teachings, I'll tell you that I've been a student of Edwin's for probably 15 years. I was so very fortunate to be able to travel to where she is now in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this past October to be in workshop and space with Edwin. And although we did not firewalk this time, as I've done countless times in the past, Edwin is still Edwin and the truth is still the truth. For so many years, I have worked to understand why forgiveness is so important. And as I mentioned, walked across so many beds of hot coals into Edwin's arms to have the experience so that my heart might be open, so that my mind might be available to understand the alchemy that forgiveness sets in motion in our life. The alchemy. I always thought that it shouldn't have to be that extreme, you know? Walking on hot coals. Seems like I should have been able just to, I don't know, swallow a live goldfish or something. But that's not the way Edwin does it. And if you know Edwin, you'll say, yes, ma'am. Her process works if you work it. And she does have a new book out called How to Become Debt-Free, Forgive. Techniques to release old patterns of guilt, shame, anger, and blame. And she's traveled the globe for decades, for decades teaching the powerful forgiveness tools. I'm going to share a couple of them with you today. But these tools unlock our greatest experiences of prosperity. And one of my favorite stories that she tells is when she taught a forgiveness workshop years and years ago, and a woman sat in the front row and was just mesmerized with what she was learning about the power of forgiveness and how it had the potential to unlock her most unlimited prosperity. And so she told Edwina after the workshop, she said, I'm going to go home today. I'm going to forgive everybody that I've ever held a grievance against. I'm doing it today. A couple months later, the lady showed up at another workshop, and Edwina says, how's the forgiveness work going? And she said, I had no idea I hated so many people. So good luck. The work is worth it. And it works when we work it, because forgiveness is the ultimate surrender, the ultimate release, the ultimate igniter of spiritual alchemy. And it's our willingness to forgive that makes it possible. In spiritual alchemy, our resentments are released such that creative ideas can appear. Now, A Course in Miracles will tell us that every problem comes presenting with its own solution. The trick is that the solution does not exist on the same level of consciousness as the problem. And so therefore, we must release the things that tether our consciousness to the level of problems, such that our consciousness might rise to the level of solutions. So our solution for the issue, the multiple issues that we experience in our country, including whatever the societal decay is that has created the nightmares that we see unfolding on the news every day. They all come bearing their own their own solution. However, are we available in consciousness to those solutions? And what is ours to do such that we can become available to those solutions on the level of consciousness? That's our work. That's where meditation comes in. That's where doing whatever it is that for you connects you to all that is. When you know that you are at peace, do that thing. And do it often, because the world needs you at peace. The solutions, your part of the solutions to the problems of this world are available to you when you are at peace. So forgiveness is one way to get to that place of being available in consciousness for solutions, to allow your consciousness to rise to the level of solutions. To forgive when you think you can't, release something, anything, and dedicate that release to the person or situation that you need to forgive. Clean out your closets. Give away old magazines. Release something. Call somebody up and offer an idea. But dedicate that release to the forgiveness process for the person or the situation that you feel you just can't release. You just can't forgive. That's one way to start. Another way that works really well, and I have certainly done this myself, this is also an Edwin Gaines teaching. Write 70 times 7. Write in a journal 70 times 7. So 70 times for 7 days. 70 times each day for 7 days. I, Vic Sorrell, completely and totally forgive, fill in the blank. This helps us meet that part of our consciousness that is resistance. Right? And it's an actual physical experience of release every time we write the line. Those are two of my favorites. When forgiving yourself does not come easily, remember, neither you nor anyone ever said to anybody else, I promise to do everything perfectly. Let yourself off the hook. Life does. Think about it. Look at life. Rain falls the same on the just as well as the unjust. My duet partner, Kenya Walker, used to tell me, baby, let it go. God does. And I agree. Life is constantly forgiving, replenishing, renewing. Are we? It's our option. I'm grateful this morning for this place of wholeness, for the sanity that acknowledges the reality with a capital R, the reality of the infinite. Though the word senseless comes to mind when we hear people speaking of and sharing about the events that we've experienced this past week, I don't resonate with senseless because it makes very much sense to me that hurt people hurt people. No matter the conditions, however, we affirm the reality. Our hearts are with the families of those who transitioned. And we affirm that our own lovelessness be even more revealed to ourselves such that it might be released into the light, so that we might shine brighter as a beacon for the truth that among other changes in this society, we must eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health challenges and those who experience them. We must. For where is God in the midst of tragedy, but living in the hearts and the hands of humanity? We're it. And it needs us. It needs us now. A Course in Miracles would remind us it is not our job to seek for love, but to seek for the barriers that we hold against the experience of love. In despair, therefore, we seek within ourselves the barriers that we hold against the experience of peace. And we apply our tools. We remember the law, we reclaim our power, and we reconcile our judgments through forgiveness. Thereby, we allow our spiritual alchemy that is our birthright. It is our birthright to replenish, to renew, to refresh, to clean slate, to start anew. And so today we remember together that in a time when despair feels very near for us, weeping may come in the darkness of the night, but joy comes in the morning in the light of new understanding. It's for this understanding of the truth of ourselves as love that even in despair, we're grateful. Because we have the spiritual tools to transform any illusion of fear into the light of love that we would choose for ourselves and for our world. And so it is. Namaste.
Back to what serves us. So if there's something that has touched your heart today, there are many ways where you can share your love or your gift with us. So I'd like the ushers to come forward. So there's plenty of ways that we can accept your gifts. You can use a credit card in our bookstore, or there's a terminal right out on the back table. Or you can find a document with a QR code in the book pocket in the front seat. And for our online viewers, please make the contribution using the link in the description below. Or you can mail your check to our street address. Please say with me, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
I hope you can hear the guitar. Hello. Can you hear me?
Come on, we got no microphone now. Hello?
Check. There we are. All right. Oh, you have my guitar too, don't you?
Wow.
All right, sweet. Anyway,
It's getting better.
yeah, here we go. So this song is called "The Shift Is On." We're moving from fear to love today, right? Here we go. Love can deliver a new way to go. Beneath the wave of erosion, hearing the Spirit's call. Bigger than an explosion, it's time for fear to fall. Promise of peace in the old ways coming down. We can choose to welcome change, let go and move on. Wave goodbye to fear, it's good as gone. The shift is on. Yeah, the shift is on. Ride the river and have faith in the flow. We can trust the Spirit, who knows right where to go. Where to go? So if you're feeling discouraged, a little out of control, shift is on. Yeah, the shift is on. Shift on!
Well, how about Sean?
Thank you.
So I'd like to thank Vic. How about Vic? So yeah, I'd like to thank Sean, our wonderful band, our AV team, our ushers, our greeters, our practitioners, our board of directors, our community. I'd like to thank y'all. So let's give each other a hand. You know, community is what makes CSL so special, and we are special. So I want to share some exciting announcements about what is coming up. Join us for a very popular class taught by our own Reverend Dr. Mitch Johnson. It is the hidden power of the scriptures, and this class is a metaphysical and mystical interpretation of the Bible's greatest gems of wisdom. It will begin on Wednesday, April 19th. For more information, and the sign-up sheet will be on our website. We're going to need some help, y'all. We need some help clearing out our building, finding a transitional space, or even a new property for CSLN. If you initially joined the transition team, now is the time to get excited once again and start planning for the future. Please contact Annie at admin@cslnashville.org to volunteer. And another area of our center is needing help is our youth program. We are actively interviewing applicants, but we have no one at the present to operate the program. So if you have an interest or if you have questions, please contact Annie. And, of course, we also encourage everyone to join us today for our annual meeting and town hall meeting directly after this service. Well, we have a little wait, but we have a very big announcement. I encourage y'all to stay. We're prepared to answer questions, and we have taken time to we're planning to take time to answer any of the questions you have, so please come with your questions. The meeting will begin here at the center and online 15 minutes after the service ends. So I have 4 after 12 right now, or let's just say 5 after 12, for those of us who may be a little mathematically challenged. We're going to start our program at 20 after, okay? That gives y'all enough time to get up, go out, stretch, get a cup of coffee, whatever, come back, okay? For those of y'all online, this online service will end, but you can log back in 10 minutes after this service ends. Is that correct, Lucia? Okay. So if you'd like a listing of more activities of our center, please visit our website online. So before we close our service, I'd like to honor or recognize any guests who may be here. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and stand up, because we'd like to see you and honor you and say something to you afterwards, okay? If you're watching online, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. And I would like all our practitioners, and Vic, if you could come down front and join us. And just to know, if there's something heavy on your heart, please don't leave here today without getting with one of these practitioners. If you have a health issue or something that's troubling you, if you want to attract a new career, a new relationship, more money, whatever it is, meet with a practitioner. You can fill out a practitioner treatment request. There's one right outside in our lobby also. You can put it in the secure box before you leave. If you're watching online, just please go to our website. You can pick a practitioner. You can send them an email. We're here to serve. We'd love to serve you. So I'd like to end this service with a closing treatment. There is one power, one presence, and one life. This power, this living spirit is right where I am. It is within, around, and through me, and I know that everything around me is a part of this one source from which all things come. I know that I am an individualist expression of this source, and I know that I am a woman of power, and I'm a woman of purpose, and I know that I'm here to create a wonderful life for myself. So today I awaken to the newness of life as I open up my heart with love, with a greater love than I've ever known. And I release all doubts, all judgments, all resentments, all fears or limiting beliefs and say yes to all good things. I know I am surrounded by peace. I'm submerged in peace. And I know that even in dark and troubled times, there is peace. This peace, this love that is here right now knows obstruction, knows no congestion, knows no imperfection. And I choose to live in this moment in peace. And these are the feelings that I share with others whose hearts may be heavy today. I know and I feel that I am united with something that is what I am, yet is so much greater than myself. I feel that the love that is in my heart, and I know that I am loving, loved, and loved. I allow Spirit to lead me to express myself and live my life in ways I've only imagined. I know that all is good and all is God. I'm so very thankful for the master teachers who've come before me and told me how to connect with this divine source that lives in me, around me, and moves through me. I'm so thankful to know that I do not have to wait for an answer, for I know that Spirit always responds to me by saying, "Yes, my beloved," with love. So I release my words to the law. I'm not attached to them. I know that only by releasing my words can I allow Spirit to do its work. Please join me as we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Etta. Well, let's all stand and sing our closing song together. And wait for the exciting news to come. So it's put a little love in your heart. Nothing's working today. Okay, there we go. So let's sing along. Lyrics are above.